Anchors up, sails at full. Welcome to the Slipcast. How are you doing today, Kyle?
Doing all right, Jared. How are you doing today, sir?
You know, I'm not going to complain too bad. How about that? I'm not going to complain too bad. Kyle, I want to do a quick. Normally we do the plugs at the end of the show. I want to do a quick plug at the beginning of the show. We had our Sloop Cats only episode come out this morning. This morning for us. It's Wednesday where Kyle and I currently exist. And it was a hot mess of so much fun. For once we actually talked about football because we had just got done watching the first playoff committee show. And that's what it is. It's a show. And so we just got done watching it, and then we're running through the entire episode was us running through scenarios for an hour and 20 minutes and going off on stupid tangents. It's one of the best Patreon exclusive episodes we've ever done. And everyone should join the Patreon and listen. Well, I wouldn't say we ran through scenarios. We tried to. Fair. We talked a lot of conspiracy theory. I for one am annoyed with the prevalent storyline that ESPN somehow controls the playoff committee, which makes no goddamn sense. I'll say it. And if y'all want to come at me in the comments on Twitter or whatever, come at me. It doesn't make any sense that ESPN has control over the playoff committee. Zero logic behind that. Zero. And if you want to hear me argue with everyone in the call last night about why that's the case, you can go listen to Sloop Cats only. But that's not what we're doing today. We're doing Know Your Enemy Northwestern.
Are we?
Oh, we're going to try.
Okay, there you go.
I mean,
Northwestern start off the season great. They got the victory over Nebraska, and that's it, Jared. That's it. That's their season.
Northwestern got Scott Frost fired. Congrats, Northwestern.
And it downhill from there. 7 straight losses since their opening victory over Nebraska, and ever since that win over Nebraska, they have not scored more than 24 points in a game. I mean, and we talked about a few weeks ago about how bad Iowa's offense is. Well, Northwestern is not that good either. Maybe better than Iowa's, but not that good. Not that good. No, Austin, it is not good.
If ESPN had full control / full control, TN games would have been 1/2 to push this weekend's rate. Oh, Tennessee. I think maybe you meant to say Tennessee, Georgia would have been 1 and 2 to push weekend ratings. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Northwestern here, Jared. So Northwestern.
Come on, I'm holding a baby. I got there eventually, Duncan. I got there eventually.
I mean, where do you want to start with this Northwestern team?
They're bad.
It's not a good team. Not a good team. They're only averaging 17.9 points per game and letting up 28.8 points per game. And they're not a good defense, not a good offense here. What does Northwestern have going for them?
I think I like their uniforms. I'm a fan of the purple and the black. You throw a little bit of white and gray in there. They do that stripe across the chest, which is somehow both unique but also classic. The name of their mascot is Willie Wildcat, and I'm a fan of alliteration. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my
Buckeye,
best.
Buckeye Matt mentions, they got a new stadium in the future.
Yeah.
And that may be the new home for the Big Ten championship game.
Are they supposed to get in on the new Bear Stadium action?
No, I don't think so. From my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so.
Their quarterback is a really nice guy. Which one?
Yeah, there's two guys here.
Well, there's the old one. There's the new one.
Yeah,
Helinski would be the old one.
Yes,
he is no longer their quarterback.
Yeah, it's Brennan Sullivan, who's taken over since the Wisconsin game. And even though Helinski is available, free to play, it seems like they're kind of giving the reins to the younger quarterback here.
Go check out his foundation. Yeah, everyone go do that. We're not going to do it live on podcast, but everyone, yes, go do that. Yeah, they let's see, something nice. They lost to Penn State by only 10 points.
It might have been their second best game. but yet they have
Kyle, that's their first best game. A 10 loss or a 10-point loss to Penn State's better than a 3-point win over Nebraska.
But I mean, one thing they have going for them though, Jared, they had a one possession loss to Duke, one possession loss to Southern Illinois, one possession loss to Miami of Ohio, one possession loss to Maryland. So yeah, a couple of the games they're right in it though.
In the month of September,
right?
In the month of September, Northwestern lost to Miami of Ohio, lost to Southern Illinois, lost to Duke, and beat Nebraska. And this is why Scott Frost doesn't have a job anymore.
Yeah, not a great team here, but I tell you a name that that Northwestern has played really well here, and that's their second, or actually their main running back, Evan Hall. He's kind of their all-purpose player. He's leading the team in rushing yards. He's also leading the team in receptions. That's right. The running back, Evan Hall, leads the team in receptions.
Yeah,
running back
Gangland.
Evan. I'm going to cry.
Gangland asks, are they the new Nebraska of one possession games? Oh no. They lost to Iowa by 20. They lost to Wisconsin by 35. All of those one possession games were against the likes of Southern Illinois and Miami.
Probably the worst one is that last one. Iowa, who had like no offense, finally found some offense and scored 33.
That's okay. What's worse? Allowing Iowa to score 33 points on you or losing to Southern Illinois?
It's still losing to Southern Illinois. It's
okay.
We can joke around and all that, but it's losing to Southern Illinois. But I'll tell you, the second thing Northwestern has going for them, Jared.
Yeah.
That is the weather forecast for this weekend. That's right. We're talking about weather, Jared. Your favorite thing about the podcast here.
As long as it's relevant to the game.
It is relevant to the game.
So that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Is it here? When I look, I'm gonna pull up real quick here. Weather Chicago for this weekend. And it says this Saturday, it will be a high of about 60 degrees, chance of rain 80%, winds 20 to 30 miles an hour. Not a good day if you're a pass heavy offense.
Well, thank God Ohio State's playing Northwestern. The Are they
And
playing in a dome yet? Are they playing in a dome yet?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet. That goes to our first question here from Austin. There's a decent chance for rain. Just mentioned that. How does this affect Ohio State's game plan and running game that has been struggling? I know it's Northwestern, but you still have to play the game.
It's Northwestern. I know it's Northwestern. Yeah, you can stop right there. Like, I understand Ohio State struggled to run like Buckeye Met says bubble screens. I'm not ready to joke about that yet. I'm gonna have to say too soon. That's too soon, man. That's too soon. Oh God, fucking bubble screens. But it's Northwestern. I don't care. It's Iowa scored 33 points on this team. How many points can Ohio State score while not honest to God question. How many points could Ohio State score in this game if they just choose to never throw the ball?
Being how the weather is, just running the ball, I think they could score at least one bubble screen. I think they could score right around 40 points just running the ball. Just running the ball, I think they could score 40.
And that number goes up to like 65 if you're allowed to throw like 10-yard slants to Marvin Harrison Jr.
As long as there's no bubble screens.
No bubble screens. We're not no more bubble screens. We're not even going to joke about bubble screens.
Okay. So last weekend, I think it was last weekend. Yeah. Northwestern played Iowa. We just mentioned Northwestern 177 offensive yards and led up 398, almost 400 to Iowa. Not a good day for Northwestern there. Then if you look at the game against Wisconsin here, they led up over 500 yards against Wisconsin. And these are two offenses that Ohio State has played and absolutely shut them down.
Buckeye Esquire says Dallin Hayden 2 touchdown official prediction. I think that's a good prediction.
Mm-hmm. And I know both,
Austin,
both
is that in your over unders? Because I think if it was set at 1.5, I'm taking the over.
I know both running backs are available and is projected to play here, but yeah, that's another question Austin had here. With this 3-game stretch coming up, should Ohio State be resting their 2 banged up starting running backs, giving the reins to Hayden and Chip? Maybe.
I mean,
but I mean, it's just one thing that I've always had issues with. And I'm glad I'm not the head coach, because you have to find that balance of, I want to make sure my starters are getting the reps, that they know the flow, and essentially being able to play a full game. Because if you start playing, I'm going to only play them half a game, all of a sudden you're playing a really tough game and they're not used to playing a full game. That could be an issue too. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you don't get what's happened to what was it? There was that running back in the was it in the NFL, or there was like a starting running back that they put in the late in the fourth quarter and he got hurt. I'm drawing a blank on who it was.
It happens. But also just the wear and tear of the season. You can talk about, are they not used to playing a full game? Okay, but if you're playing 4 quarters of football every single week, even if you're not getting like hurt, you're still taking hits and you're still getting banged up, and like you're still going to run into issues. Like, so you can play both sides of that, right? Tommy Pickles was practicing with a cast/brace this week. Well, if they need to take a week off, this would be a good week to do that. You're a hater, Austin. Let's see. I thought I saw something else in here. I wanted to hit on, maybe not.
So the other player here, I know we mentioned the quarterbacks here. Going to most likely see Brendan Sullivan play. Evan Hall is their main running back. Cam Porter is another running back that Northwestern tends to give some of the workload to. Not worried about their wide receivers, Malik Washington and Donnie Navarro. 470 yards, 230 yards to each of them. Not worried. Probably the one thing that I think the Northwestern has going for them is that they have a legit first round offensive tackle, and on Peter Cernoski. Definitely a first round, potentially top 10 pick. We'll see.
Duncan asks, are those season stats?
Those are all season stats. Yes.
All right. Speaking of season stats.
Stats. So Washington has 470.
Who are you, me? Interrupting me like that?
Navarro, yes. And then Navarro has 230 yards, but their running back has the second most reception yards with 461. So Evan Hall, spoiler alert, Evan Hall is your enemy player to watch here. Like, there really is nobody else on that team that you should really be worried about on that offensive side.
Speaking of season stats, Northwestern, let's talk. We're clowning on their offense, and like, rightfully so. But points per game. 17.
Yeah.
17 places them 120th in the country.
It's not Iowa bad.
Is it not? I look it up, Kyle. Look it up.
Give me a moment. It's going to be a moment.
Go to team rankings. Make sure it's at least apples to apples on the, because that's where I'm pulling these stats. Yards per game, 360, which places them 88th in the country. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this: them being 88th in the country in yards per game, that is their best offensive category. It's their only it's their best offensive category. Points per play, 122nd. Yards per play, 4.7, placing them at 105. Red zone scoring percentage, you might be wondering, well, how are they putting up all of these yards to achieve the high rank of number 88? Number 88, but be 120 in points? Well, their red zone scoring percentage, and this is just scoring, not touchdown, just scoring, at 72%. Youch.
So we were joking about this during the Iowa game about, well, if Iowa didn't play an FCS school, they'd have a worse points per game.
Southern Illinois, Northwestern also played Southern Illinois, which was above their average.
So if you're going by what you're looking at here, Jared, where they don't include the FCS schools here, yes, Iowa technically has a better offense in terms of points per game, but what's
the number?
So points per game. Oh, I just had it up here. Iowa is scoring 16.4 points per game.
So the massive Northwestern offense is getting an extra 1/6 of a point per game. Massive.
Yeah. So not good. Not good.
Yards per rush, they're 120th. Yards per pass, they're number 100.
Yeah. Not good offensively here though. So defensively, Jared, if we're talking about Northwestern, you're talking about the linebackers. Then their main linebackers are the heavy lifters here in Bryce Gallagher and Xander Mueller, leading the team in tackles, leading the teams in tackle for loss, and heck, even leading the team in interceptions as well too. They're your do it all linebackers.
Oh, I mean, Buckeye Esquire says, great linebacker names, to be honest. Yeah, Chicago.
So looking at statistically here, Northwestern's defense actually does pretty good when it comes to the passing defense here. They are 13th in oh no, I'm sorry, I'm misreading that. Actually, the opponent's completion percentage, they are 49th. So not terrible, but they're holding teams under 60% completion rating. They scrolling down here, their rushing defense here, their rushing defense, they are very susceptible to the rushing attack. They are averaging 4.8 yards per rush, which puts them at 111th.
To be fair, yards per pass, they're 98th. It's not that much better.
Yeah.
This is a bad team, guys. I think what we're trying to say is this is not a good football team.
So what does Northwestern need to do to make it a game here?
Pray. I mean,
does the rain help them out at all, or is the rain just going to?
The weather's a neutralizer,
or is the rain going to help Ohio State out more?
No. If you're the more talented football team, which Ohio State clearly is, weather will only hurt. Weather is a neutralizer. If you're an amazing football team, your ideal scenario is in a dome. Do ducks neutralize? No, ducks are not weather. So the point here is that if you're trying to build a chaos scenario for Ohio State, okay, let's make the case. Let's build a chaos scenario for Ohio State. Chaos scenario. It's Chicago. It's windy. It's wet. It's a Big Ten West game on the road, which is bit Ohio State in the past. How this is at noon, so it's not a night game. That will help. But the bad weather on the road, Ohio State's obviously gonna go into this game not with like they're human beings. Like you can say you should go into every game like you're gonna lose it, and you can go into every game with the urgency and focus that you should if you were going up against Penn State or Michigan. Okay, yeah, you're right. You should do that. But they're human beings. They're not gonna take the game as seriously as they would Penn State or Michigan. It's just psychology. You're just not there. You're not quite that crisp when you know you don't have to be. All right, you got bad weather. You got wind, you got rain, you're on the road, and you're taking the team a bit lightly. Now, the weather could change. Kyle and I right now are existing on Wednesday, November 2nd. And so the game for us is several days away. 4 days away. Gangland just now figuring out it's November. So the weather can
But-
change.
but-
So the
in
weather
all
can
honest-
change.
Okay, in all honesty, Jared, too. Like anytime that we talk about bad weather, oh, it's going to hurt Ohio State. Anytime there's bad weather, they're going to be too one dimensional, and that's not who they are. They're not going to play that well. Northwestern's going to have to play the same in the same weather too, and their rushing attack is not.
But it's
that, rushing
it's a
attack,
talent
rushing
neutralizer,
attack,
though.
It is, but Ohio State dominates on the rushing defense as well too. Like I feel so confident in our front six there. Like I'm not worried if Northwestern tries to run it down Ohio State's throat. I feel very confident that Ohio State's going to be there for the challenge.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm like literally attempting to build a chaos scenario for Ohio State. I'm trying to build the case. I'm not saying I believe it, because at the end of the day, this Northwestern team's awful.
Now, I think the question is, Jared, the weather that's forecasted to be, I think, is maybe good enough or worse, depending on how you want to look at it, for Northwestern to maybe cover.
Yeah, and like when we come to that conversation, yeah, I think that does make the line a little more interesting. And Austin typed out what I was thinking. Worst team Ohio State's played so far this year?
Maybe. It might be.
Jared building a case he doesn't believe. Typical. It's a podcast. How else am I supposed to make Northwestern interesting?
And I look
You
at the rest
can't.
of
Thank you. I'm not going to call
and
it.
I look at Northwestern's rest of their schedule. I don't see a single victory the rest of the season for them.
I'm looking at their past schedule and I don't see a victory, because Nebraska doesn't count. I don't acknowledge the legitimacy of Nebraska as a football program.
Of course, Jared, living in your own world.
That was in week 0. 0 literally is the symbol for something not existing. Prove me wrong.
All right, Jared. I think we should move on to our picks, unless you have anything else you want to talk about Northwestern.
I mean, I don't. No, I don't. Really
Okay, all right, fine. We're moving on. This week's guest picker is, and he's in our chat here. He changed his name now, but it's Buckeye Matt. Heyo, hey. So Buckeye Matt will be picking with us in today's episode, as well as Friday's Sloop picks as well. So let's get started, Jared. Ohio State player to watch in this game. Who do you have?
I'm going to go Luke Whippler. Ohio State needs to get their interior offensive line back on track. It starts with the center. If this is a game in which the weather is as bad as it could be, as it might be a game in which you need to run, and Ohio State's going to need to get some push, get some just a little bit of forward momentum going in that interior of the offensive line again.
Okay, Matt, you can post something while we're talking here. Absolutely. The interior line, we mentioned it a number of times, and especially on Monday's episode, just ripping on the interior about how bad they played, especially on the running attack there. So yeah, hopefully this is a confidence boost type of game for that interior line to start fixing the issues that they have. My player to watch, I really want to just say the running backs, but I'm going to go with Chop. I think Chop is going to be your best running back for this type of game. And as long as he's healthy and you give him the ball, he's going to be able to get 4 or 5 yards easily every play here. So I'm going to go with Brian Williams.
Yeah, and
But he may not play. They may keep him out, but I think Chop is your best running back for this kind of game, though. But the coaches say that he's available to play, but of course, rule number one, Jared. But if I'm picking a player, I'm going to go with Chop, but it's the running backs.
Well, yeah, Austin says doctor lies. Sloopcast rule number one, the doctor lies. Acknowledged. But I think it's worth noting that Chop basically said on social media the day of the Penn State game, he's like, hey, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm. How many rushing yards if we just play Rossi at tailback?
Like, you joke, but if Mine Williams can't go this game, like,
over
there aren't that many running backs on the team right now.
The over under is 6.5, Jared.
Ohio State can't even keep their walk-on running backs healthy at the moment. So
right, Matt says here, player to watch is Stroud. I want to see how he adjusts to shitty weather. Weather plays a factor every NFL year, and I'm sure scouts want to see how this may affect him. Really excited to see him shine. Weather quarterbacks tend to struggle. Yeah, no, I honestly, I think Ohio State will definitely run a lot more in this game, but I mean they'll still pass. They'll still go to their passing attack that they typically go to. But yeah, I'm really curious on how Stroud's going to handle a shitty weather like this.
But I once again want to point out that it's like Wednesday. We're 4 days away from the game,
and it can change.
Like the weather, our weather,
it's not looking good.
It's 2022, and our weather prediction still sucks. So like whatever, right? Yeah, poor Caffey. Right. This would have been a good game for him. And by the way, we didn't see Stroud play in a ton of weather last year. The Michigan game was obviously bad weather, and he played. Yeah. Despite what some people might think, he played incredibly well in that game.
Yeah.
For the record.
All right, moving on to enemy player to watch. I mentioned him already. It's Evan Hall. Evan Hall is the correct answer for the enemy player to watch.
Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm going to go with their linebacker, Gallagher. Leads the team in solo tackles, leads the team in total tackles, leads the team in assisted tackles, has 1.5 sacks and an interception this year. The correct choice, Jared. Well, I didn't need your approval, Austin. Gangland, you better be kidding with that Will Levis thing. Their linebackers are basically their defense. Yeah. They're we're joking, but we're also telling the truth. That like this is not a good football team. This is not a good defense. Their linebackers are actually legitimately talented, but what can a couple good players on a defense do? Nothing.
Yeah.
I know you're joking, Gangland. Pat Fitzgerald, he is my player to watch. He may have to suit up just to give Northwestern any type of momentum going. I'd pay to see that. I'd pay actual money to see that. Would anyone notice if Fitz did suit up? I think he's still in playing form. Listen, the bar's not that high on the current squad. If he goes in and plays linebacker, it can't be that bad of a drop off. No, their linebackers.
We either talked about it last year, Jared, or 2 years ago. It was like if you put all the coaches in a ring, who would come out on top? It's Fitzpatrick. you don't mess with him at all.
Fitzgerald, but yeah,
Fitzgerald. Yes. God damn it. All right, moving on. A key matchup, Jared.
Wait a minute, are we doing weight classes? Cause
no.
Then moving forward.
Yeah. Key matchup, Jared. The key matchup is It's the weather.
No. Objection.
It's the weather.
Objection.
I need some support. I need some support here.
Objection form.
Weather is a key matchup.
Objection form. Is that the correct objection? Sustained. I think that means I win. It does. Yes. Kyle, rephrase.
Key matchup is bad weather.
It's literally the same. Objection, contempt of court.
Day versus the bubble screens.
Day versus the bubble screens is funny. It's still not an answer though. I'll answer and you can think. I'll take the interior of Ohio State's offensive line versus the defensive tackles of Northwestern.
Do you want to say their main defensive tackle's name there, Jared?
Nope.
I put it up in the show notes.
Not even gonna try.
Anybody else want to give that?
They don't have voice privileges, Kyle. They literally can't give it a shot.
All right. Key matchup. It's keeping Evan Hall at bay. He's their main source of their offense. Like I mentioned, he has over 1,000 yards of total offense, and no one comes close to him.
So Evan Hall versus
the defense. I'll just say the linebackers. I'll just say the linebackers.
Buckeye Matt says Hall versus the DTs. OGs?
No, because he's
OCs.
He's going to get screen passes. He's going to be available in the passing game too. It's
Hall.
not just the DTs.
Hall.
Oh, Hall. Not Hall.
I think
Hall.
Hull. Last thing we need is two Ohio kids trying to differentiate between vowel sounds. Let's please move forward.
All right, we're moving forward to the spread. So the spread here, and I have this off because I did not put it in. So let me go to our pick'em that we use, CBS Sports Pick'ems, and it locked down at 38.5 points. Jared, do you want to go first, or do you want me in your final score?
The only thing that makes me nervous here is the weather that is predicted for the game. If not, I'd be like 38 points. Rack it up. Give me Ohio State. But the weather has me a bit concerned. Okay. But I'm still going to pick Ohio just because, you know what? I'm betting against the weatherman and betting for the Buckeyes. I say it's going to be 52 and sunny or partially sunny. It's Chicago in November. I think partially sunny is about the
most.
I think that's about as best as we can hope for, but it's going to be 52 and sunny-ish.
All right. What's your final score? Because I was about to write 52 as your score.
Well, since you bring it up, 52-7.
52-7 is not a nice, Jared.
Oh, what do you
boo him?
I know it's not, but like Northwestern's not going to score 17 points. And Ohio State's not going to score 62 points just because Day is not quite that evil.
In this game, Jared, I do not think Northwestern will get a touchdown.
I don't think their starters get a touchdown.
I don't think they're going to
some BS
get a
touchdown
at all. I think Ohio State's going to be able Northwestern's not going to really be able to do anything at all, and they're going to have to rely on Hall to do everything. And yeah, Ohio State's just going to be able just to surround him and contain him there. I have Ohio State 49, Northwestern 9.
Sorry, guys, we're going low scoring on this one. I know you guys like the bit, but
which
sometimes the bit doesn't hold up.
So with both of us, it is a cover. So let's see what Buckeye Matt says. He says, it's going to be nice seeing our offense not be super one-dimensional for a third week in a row. Ohio State could have 1,000 yards total offense if we really wanted to in this game.
Facts.
We will rush for 200 and throw for another 300. Marvin will have another 3. Oh, he says before I saw the forecast, by the way.
Marvin, don't worry, the weatherman's always wrong.
Yeah, Marvin will have another 3-touchdown game, and our defense will have their first game this season where they won't allow any type of offensive score. Ohio State will cruise to 9-0 and cover, winning 63-0. Sorry, Fitzy.
If Ohio State wanted to do that, they could. But I just don't see this team putting up a ton of effort.
6 for the bit.
Just hey, I tell you what, Buckeye Matt, this is your opportunity. Since Kyle and I both failed on the bit, I'm giving you an opportunity to either give Northwestern 6 points or Ohio State an additional 6 points. There it is. He's changing his score prediction to 69-0.
All right, perfect. All right, so that is our picks here, and we move on to the next part of our episode, and it is everyone's favorite. Austin asks, or the Austin over and unders, excuse me, the Austin over unders. So he says here, Linsky's Hope Foundation Edition. Please visit their website, he says. Ohio State's total carries in this game. 41.5 total rushes. Over.
It feels like a lot.
Over.
Ohio State rushing.
Average is 35.5. So 6 more rushes in this game. Yes, over.
Yeah, especially if the weather. And they'll be up. Yeah, over.
Do sacks count? Yes, they do, but are they going to get a sack?
Yes.
All right, next one here. Northwestern pass completion percentage over under 58.49.
Under.
I'm going to say over just because their other quarterback, Sullivan, is actually has one of the highest percentages in the Big Ten right now. He has like over 73% completion percentage. Granted, he's only attempted like 60 some passes.
71.
Okay, 71, excuse me.
It's all good. I just happen to be staring at it.
But yeah, it's over 73 completion. So good over under there. But I think I'll go over.
Yeah. If you look
at those short passes, those screen passes to Hall, and it's going to really help that percentage.
Yeah. No, I don't see it. This is going to be a total chaos game for Northwestern. All right. No.
All right. Tui Malau tackles, not including sacks, at 2.5.
Feels like an easy over.
It does. But imagine Austin has something here where he averages less than 2. Yeah.
I figure that, but this is not a game in which you're going to see the running back get to the second level a lot. He was averaging 1.2 before last week. And the averages include the sacks, and you've already removed the sacks.
As much as I want to say over, I think it's under. And I think Ryan Day, was it Ryan Day or was it Coach Knowles? It was one of the two this week, mentioned about he's trying to find the alpha in this defensive line. And the past 4 weeks here, it's always been somebody different. So I feel that it's going to be, I think it's going to be somebody else who's going to really step in here. Maybe we see another, maybe we see Sawyer. Maybe Sawyer's the one that finally steps in to get a lot of stats in there.
Hayden Curry game. I don't dislike that take. By the way, the whole idea of someone being an alpha or not is based off of disproven wolf science and is stupid. Next question.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll get another great game from Mike Hall. Maybe Zach Harrison. There's just too many big names for to allow to have another great game. But maybe he will. But I'm going to go with under.
Hold on, I have to do a thing for Gangland. This is just me.
No, you don't, Jared. Jared, you don't. Jared, you
Gangland.
Don't.
What's
Jared.
a ligma? Oh my god, I didn't see it coming.
All right, Gallagher tackles at 9.5 for the game.
I'm gonna go over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over as well, because Ohio State's going to run the ball a lot. And
someone's got to make the tackles.
Someone's got to tackle. Yeah.
And
Northwestern turnovers at 2.5. Actually, I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over with the turnovers. Ohio State's found something with the turnovers here, and I'm going to say they're going to keep that up here. So I'm going 2.5. I'm being optimistic.
Let's see. Turnover statistics for Northwestern. They typically give it away twice a game, 2.1 times per game to be precise, which places them 116th in the country. Give me the over.
All right. Ruggles field goal attempts at 1.5.
Under.
I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under here. God, I hope it is 0.
The second half, though. The second half.
Yeah. All right, and the last one: Harrison, Ibuka, and Stover receptions at 12.5. Over.
I'm gonna say under.
Oh yeah, Yeah, I misread that. Yeah, under. Sorry, I misread that.
Wait, what do you think you misread? Marvin Harrison, Emeka Ibuka, Stover. So I mean the three primary pass receivers.
Yeah, no, over. Yeah, over. I'm going over.
I'm going under. I think this is a game in which they will probably try to run first, and I think this is a game in which a lot of those guys don't play a ton in the third, fourth quarter.
Yeah, I got to find where this was. Oh, it was 11 Warriors posted it here. Cade Stover has 24 receptions and 309 yards and 3 touchdowns through 8 games. Shit you not. I shit you not. He is on pace to have one of the best tight end seasons in Ohio State history.
Is it? Wait a minute. Could the legend be true? Low bar, but nice. Yeah, that's accurate.
The record for single season receiving yards, 671 yards by Bill Anders in 1966.
I would have assumed that was Ricky Dudley's record.
Everyone's favorite tight end, Jeff Howerman, 466 yards 9 years ago.
The legends appear to be true. It is finally the year of the tight end. It's pronounced Anders.
All right. Moving on here. So actually, those are all the questions because those other ones we answered during the the episodes. Yeah, get those Year of the Tight End emotes in here. Lay them in here. You got anything else, Jared?
God, I hope this game's a total obliteration.
Yes.
I need this game to be a total obliteration. That's, it's the Penn State game was what it was, and the Iowa game was what it was. We had to come in here and say, guys, these are actually good defenses. Iowa's actually legitimately one of the best defenses in the country. Penn State has the best secondary in the country. And trying to strangle people into this isn't going to be easy. And then people still not listening to us and still oh my God, why wasn't this easy? This game should be easy. This game should be easy. Unless, of course, the weather fucks things up. But this game should be easy. Congrats on level 11, Matt. Today is your day. Jared keeps saying weather. This episode's dedicated to Suncard. That's going to be difficult. That's going to be difficult, Matt.
And I did confirm. I think somebody mentioned about Eichenberg in a caster brace. Yeah, he was having a support around his wrist arm, his left one to be precise. So
sure, he's fine.
We'll see. I'm sure he's fine.
Sure, he's fine.
All right, Jared, go ahead and head us out here.
Head us out. Want to let everyone know that you can head over to Spotify, to Apple Podcast, anywhere you find podcasts, you can find this podcast. And I'm telling specifically the YouTube audience this because you probably already. What is Spreaker? Spreaker is our hosting service. It is our hosting service. But they host it and then it gets distributed elsewhere. I think they're technically owned by iHeartRadio. So it is now iHeartRadio's podcast wing. Spreaker is the plug is what I'm hearing. No. Come visit our Discord server. Discord.thesloopcast.com. I'm literally just reading whatever thing pops up in our little rotating advertisement section here. Pay $3 on Patreon or be labeled a Teton sympathizer. Yeah, that's a thing we might do to you. That's an actual role in the server. We hand it out as a punishment. $3 to join the join Patreon, become a patron of the show, get to listen to our super secret episodes, get your very own custom RSS feed that you can plug into your podcast app. And that way you don't get those annoying ads that play before and during the show from Spreaker. So you can what Gangland? How come when you tag the Teton sympathizer, it highlit it for me this time? Or is someone abusing their mod powers again, Gangland?
Yes, Jared. Yes.
Kyle, there's a conspiracy happening. I'm gonna go ahead and ask you what's in Kyle's corner.
We'll take care of it. We'll take care of it offline here, Jared.
Yeah, I'll just let you just let us know what's in Kyle's corner.
All right. Ohio State basketball started, Jared. Well, at least the exhibition. They took on a Division II opponent, Chaminade. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. 101-57. They are the Silver Swords. How about that for a mascot? The Silver Swords.
I like that a lot, actually. Unironically, I like that a lot.
Ohio State shot 55% from the field. Only shot 10 free throws in the whole game. uh, but yeah, a lot of new names in basketball this year. We'll cover more basketball once the football season's over. But I mean, we'll still talk a little bit about basketball. But once football season's done, we'll really get into the basketball season, though. But yeah, the basketball team is officially starting.
All right, all right. All right, that's it. That's the end of the episode. Tonight's ending music brought to you by a Columbus-based band called the Turbos. That's the Turbos. They're from Columbus. They're an alt rock band. They're fun. Stick around. Listen to them if you're listening to this on the podcast version of the show. If you're watching us on YouTube, you don't get to hear the music, but there is a link down in the show notes. So if you want to listen to the song, just click that link. So with all of that being said, I'd like to encourage everyone to drink local beer, listen to local music, and of course support your local podcasters. Once again, this is the Turbos.